think it's a shame that we have a mayor now who sees that it's a better use of his time to protect his own job while the city is faced with job losses that are caused by his Wall Street. I would also like to say that the value of a vote is in no way tied to the value of the stock market.
That's right.
It's not fair. It's not right. So, we need to stick with democracy. It's fragile everywhere. It's fragile in our country right now. We've got to vote, and we've got to make sure that people can believe in that vote. And this is a step that will thoroughly undermine that belief. So, that's what I have to say.
Hi, I'm Dan Jacoby. I'm also with Democracy for New York City. I'm thrilled to see a lot of DFNYC people here. I'm more thrilled that we are but a part of a large group of a coalition of groups from all over the city that have come together on this issue. DFNYC members have a large variety of opinions on the general subject of term limits, but we are together against the idea of the City Council overruling our voice. A couple of years ago, I had at a forum on this very subject, I asked a question. I said, what is the moral justification for overturning by legislative fiat the twice expressed will of the people? You could hear the crickets. I've been asking that question for a couple of years now. Nobody can answer it, and the reason is obvious. There is no moral justification.
That's right.
We trust the people. We call on the mayor to trust the people as well. Thank you.
All right. All right.
Before, we've got 3 more speakers, and I just want to say to everyone who's here, first, thank you so much for coming, and second, before you leave, give us your name and your email so that we can continue to keep in touch with you in a non-expensive manner.
Democratic manner.
And democratic, just like a democratic manner, because we have to take what we have here today and build upon it, so that the people in this building understand what grassroots democracy is all about.
That's right.
People power!
This is what democracy looks like!
Hey!
All right, our next 3 speakers.
Hey! Ho-ho! Mayor Mike Zachaco! Hey, hey! Ho-ho! Mayor Mike Zachaco! Hey, hey! Ho-ho! Mayor Mike Zachaco!
We have Joanne Simon, Mark Traeger, and Mark Schrager, the last 2 of the Mark brothers.
It's the same
And Rob.
I'm Joanne Simon. I'm the district leader from the 52nd Assembly District in Brooklyn. Yay, Brooklyn. And I just want to say that this whole thing is simply about the democratic process. Whether you're on one side of the do we need term limits or how many issue, and people come from various views here behind me, this is really simply about undermining faith in government. And when I remember the debate about term limits, and much of the reason that term limits were called for was to restore people's faith in government and to make sure that people had an opportunity to become part of government and to participate in a greater way. The problem with how we're approaching this now is that the mayor and the city council seem to want to undermine the faith in government even further. And I think that we need to call for, again, the voice of the people. The people have spoken. If you want to look at the issue of term limits, let's have a referendum. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Hi, I'm John Penley from the Lower East Side. I've been organizing protests against gentrification and real estate developers. Under Mayor Bloomberg, our city has seen more gentrification and pushing out of working poor and middle-class families than under any other mayor in the history of the city of New York. That's right. We should not let this guy get another term in office. We should also hold him accountable because he runs a financial information service that has been selling information to the same people that have put us in this financial meltdown predicament that we're in right now. He should give some of that money back. While he's been the mayor of the city of New York, his net wealth has quadrupled. He has gotten more money, and it all came off of Wall Street. We don't need somebody like that for another term as mayor of the city of New York. He should listen to the people and then have a free and fair election and not try to pull this stuff by buying off the city council so he can get another term as mayor.
My name is Mark Traeger, the president of the United Christian Democratic Club in Bensonhurst. All right. That's where I teach. Instead of facing voters first, Mayor Bloomberg recently met with the publishers of the New York Daily News, the New York Post, and the New York Times to gauge their support for extending term limits, not through a public referendum, but rather through a legislative fiat. After receiving the green light from New York's major publications, he then consulted his billionaire and millionaire inner circle of friends at Wall Street and received further support to amend the will of New York City voters. In rationalizing his decision to overturn our will, Mayor Bloomberg points to the ongoing Wall Street crisis as his justification that he is best equipped to lead this city through this financial storm. And therefore, term limits that applied to everyone else in the past, including Mayor Giuliani after 9/11, should not apply to him. In Mayor Bloomberg's eyes, financial losses for big banks that made knowingly risky decisions and treated Wall Street like a craps table in Las Vegas equate to a crisis. While that may be true, I did not hear the crisis bell for the last 8 years as New Yorkers and Americans are working harder than ever for less. Let there be no doubt that the cost of living in New York City has skyrocketed for middle-class families, but nobody has rung the crisis bell for them. As a matter of fact, city council members know firsthand how expensive the city has become, because why else would they vote themselves a $22,500 raise on top of their $90,000 a year salary? Let me finish it off by saying this. Despite the mayor's billionaire business background, the fact of the matter is New Yorkers cannot afford a third term of Bloomberg and Company. Tax incentives to keep corporations in New York and tax increases for the middle class to flee New York just will not do anymore. Saying that you're going to plant 1 million new trees while placing and maintaining garbage dumps in the middle of residential neighborhoods just won't do anymore. Reforming the education department by taking the power of important educational decisions away from teachers and parents over to the hands of consultants just won't do anymore. And the final one, attempting to reduce congestion by taxing New Yorkers while having developers rewrite zoning laws that have been the leading cause of congestion just won't do anymore. Thank you.